Evening all, and welcome to episode 3 of season 8 of Factory Town, where I need to remember where we were, what we were doing, and why we were doing it. Because I don't. Well, where we were was here. We were definitely here. Remember that. What we were doing was... I think we were at the point where don't we need to upgrade the base? Because we've done everything from the research that we've got unlocked. Let me see whether I've forgotten anything. We've got the stonemason, which could be useful actually. Oh, and workshop, yeah. So yeah, okay. So we've got a few more buildings to build. That's fine. That's fine. And why are we doing it? Well, why do we do anything? Why are we here? Well, I'm here to have fun, so we'll go with that. First and foremost, I need to lengthen this chute because they're now having to walk a fair distance. And one thing about chutes is if you lengthen them, they would automatically reassign themselves to go to the end of the chute. So you haven't got to worry about telling them, hey, you need to move in a bit. That they know that this is the end of the chute and that is the end of the chute. I've never had them go to the wrong end of a chute. They might do that if you drag a chute out really far and that end's closest to them this end. I don't know. Never tried that. So bear that in mind. Obviously, if you put stuff here, it's going to go that way. So you don't want that. You don't want that. So, and that just speeds up them. They don't have to work so far to do that. And we have a guy stood there doing nothing. Help with wood. Get on. There we go. Help with wood. Okay. You're selling planks to there, which is fine, and you're putting planks in there, which is fine. So everything is fine and awesome and dandy, and everything is good. Okay. So we need to get some new things. We need some stone brick, and we need some wooden wheel. Well, stone brick's the easy one. Let's come over here to our stone storage barn. To which, you know what, we're going to add a chute to this as well. We're going to add a chute to this as well. So let's move all our workers out the way for a moment. And we're going to say, come along here to here, and then we're going to rotate that like that. And we'll go, hey, would you take this and put it there? And they'll do some odd things. Yeah, I thought they might. Just going to walk around. They can't walk through the stone. What are you doing? You're... Ooh. Okay. Okay, so... Right, I get rid of that one. That might help. You're kind of around there. Okay. Okay, I'll tell you what. You grab that one. And maybe that'll help. I don't know. We'll see. But we need to put in a stonemason. A stonemason does exactly what it says on the tin. We'll put him here. We could put him in range of the town and then have a chute come out and go around. We want to get the bonuses to it. Not all that. Not too worried about that right now. He can make stone brick or make polished stone. Stone brick requires 3 stone to make a brick, and polished stone requires 10 stone to make a polished stone, which is, I guess, rather than it be like it actually, 10 stones together to make a polished stone, it is he goes through 10 stones to find one good one, and then he can polish that up. I'm guessing that's how that one works. So we're going to with stone brick, and what we're going to do is we're just going to drag a chute out of here. Now, if we drag a chute, you'll see it creates a grabber automatically. If you drag a chute or a conveyor belt or something from there, I didn't explain that last time. I forgot that bit with grabbers. It'll automatically generate a grabber from the building you're dragging out of. However, because this is at the front with the arrow, we don't need a grabber there, but we can leave it. And there's no difference between just having it come out the front from the arrow or using a grabber. There's no difference whatsoever. I think grabbers, if you have multiple grabbers, they go like round robin. They do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If you had 3 of them on the side, that's fine. There is a small advantage, which I've kind of forgot about until just now, with actually having a grabber at the front. And that is that you can turn it off. If you turn the grabber off, even though we're at the arrow point, it won't auto-output. So I suppose the grabber is a little bit more helpful, and they're free. They don't cost anything anyway, so it's not major. And we have a stonemason. Awesome, and he's making stone. Cool. Oh, tooltips, bad tooltips. So let's put in another barn to store our stone in because we need that. But we got a small problem here. we can't use a chute to output that. It goes, no. It goes, nope, I can't output that on the green arrow. I can't do that because I'm not that way. And if we do that, the grabber, it won't let you take stone brick because it can't roll on a chute. So we need a conveyor belt there, but we don't have any conveyor belts. We don't even have the option to make conveyor belts yet. So what we need to do is get a worker. But anyway, to do it, put a worker in between and say, hey, would you take stone, put it in there. There we go. And he'll just pick up stone and go back and forward. So yeah, that's really the only way to do it early on. We need conveyor belts for that. We haven't unlocked conveyor belts. We aren't anywhere near conveyor belts yet. We've unlocked log bridge. Cloth conveyor belts come under cloth conveyor belt research. Awesome. Okay, so there's our stone brick. How many do we need? We need 10. We have 10. Awesome. Now, wooden wheels. Wooden wheels are made in a workshop. And I'll put him here just for a minute. Doesn't really matter where we put him. And they make many a thing. Many a thing. The workshop does actually make a lot of stuff. Not as much as the kitchen. I think the kitchen's the most busy building, but yeah. So you can make wooden wheels here. You make cloth through two ways, either through cotton or through wool. Wool is the more complicated way. It requires a pasture and get things going. And, yeah. And you can make books in two ways as well. You can make books using leather, which uses a pasture, or with cloth. So it's nice that there are options better. That's a new recipe, the cloth one. That's nice that it's been added because it was always a bit of a pain getting leather early game because of the you need a grain mill making animal feed. You need a pasture with water, and it's not complicated, it's just a bit longer than normal. But we're after wooden wheels anyway. I'm getting ahead of myself. We're after wooden wheels. So that's what we want to do. We want to do wooden wheels. And wooden wheels require planks. Planks are being made in the lumber mill. So let's move our workshop to here. And really, we want to have right now our planks are being spread very, very thin. I don't even think we're selling them for red. We are selling them every now and then for red coins, but most of them are going into the base, which is fine because you use planks to actually build a lot of stuff. So we want to leave that gun there. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at building a second lumber mill dedicated to the workshop. So I want to kind of keep it in range here, and I do want to use up all these trees that are here. So we might just put it like back here somewhere. Create a second lumber mill. Put that there, and go, hey, would you make planks for us, please? There we go. And you're making wooden wheels for us. Awesome. And then we're going to need a couple of people. So we're going to need at least two there. You're going to be putting planks into the workshop, and you're going to be grabbing wheels and put them in the base. Now we also want to run a path to them because we want them connected to the base, so they get a bonus, which is good. We want a bonus, and then we need to add workers putting into the lumber mill. We could cut off this chute here and have it go both ways. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that because I can then show another mechanic of this. So that's still connected because it's got one path next to it. So it is still connected to the... So with chutes, they follow the gravity principle, is the best way to put this. They go in straight lines. Momentum, not gravity, momentum. So they go in straight lines. They will always go forwards. So if I was to, I'll show you over here. If I have a chute like this, and then, well, if I cross the chutes like this, first and foremost, that isn't connected. This chute going top to bottom, and this one going left to right aren't connected. They will bump into each other. If something going from the bottom to the top stops on this block here, it will block stuff going from left to right. But the stuff going left to right can never end up on the chute going top to bottom. So you can do that if it's very light usage and you can have them cross and it's fine. If you actually want them to merge, however, you need to either start from like the bottom here, drag up and turn, and you'll see it gets the angle. It gets this little tiny notch here, which says, hey, it turns to the left. But if anything was coming along from the left, it would have to turn down. It could not go up, because that does not allow you to go up here. If we wanted it going up, we'd have to drag along here and go up, and you'll see the little it's a little conveyor, but basically this little notch in the corner indicates that you are allowed to turn that direction. So if we go from the bottom again and go to the right, then there we go. We have a T-junction now, so we can go straight on, it can go left, or it can go right. Now, the priority system basically works on with chutes. Everything goes straight on first. You always go straight on. Then, if the straight on is blocked or if it fills up, you'll turn right. You always go right. And then if that fills up, you'll turn left. So it's very interesting to know how the priority systems work. If you put your, most important building to the north, second important building, or by important building up, I don't know which way north is, put it up, second important to the right, and then third important to the left, then that's the order they will get goods in. It always turns right first, then turns left. So if you want to make sure it's got an even split, you can go into your logistics blocks and you can get a splitter. A splitter will do exactly what it says on the tin. You point it that way, and it will go forward, right, left, or left, right, forward. I can't remember which order it starts in, but it will basically send one each direction, and then the next one comes along, we'll send it all one each direction as well. If you've got it blocked off like this way here, it will just go straight and then right, and then straight and then right. So it doesn't particularly matter which way it's. You could have facing that way. Even though it's saying go down, the arrow's pointing go down. If something's coming up, it won't push it back down again. It's smart enough to know not to do that. So yeah. Splitters are very useful. But what we want to do here is we want to have this as our priority. We actually want to have the lumber mill that's producing planks as the priority, and the lumber mill that's going to produce planks for the wooden wheel as the second priority. So we can use the whole rule of go straight first and then turn right. So we'll just drag a second chute like this. You see they all go right, but when there's gaps going forwards, they go forwards. So they will always fill up this one first, and then once it's full up, they will then turn this way. So very, very useful to use if you need priorities and all that. Forward is always the direct route. So hopefully I've explained that well enough that makes sense. It's a little well, it's not complicated, but it's just something to bear in mind, because sometimes you'll put chutes in and then all of a sudden be like, why is it going this way and not the other way? Or why is it doing this and the other? And the crossing of chutes is something quite important as well. If you cross chutes, bear in mind that a chute, an item on a chute can block another chute that's crossing it, which is the complete opposite of how pipes work, but pipes are way down the line. So yeah. Okay, so I think what we need to do is basically just wait until we've got 4, but we need 10. So we're going to wait until we've got plenty of wooden wheels, and I'm just going to let this go, and we'll come back once we can upgrade the town centre. And here we are, not too long later. We have a lovely arrow above our base telling us we can upgrade, which is what we want to do. So let's click the button, boom, and we have new research available, which is awesome. We get the tailor, we can unlock the coin boosters, which is quite useful. We have fluid pipes. Well, not fluid, we have researchers available. We have to research things: boat building, intermediate logistics, forestry, farming, and houses have been upgraded by 4, so we can now have 12 houses. I'm not sure when we get another town centre. I'm not sure what that does. Doesn't actually tell me. I would like another town centre because I want to know where we're going to put some of the stuff. We need to start planning out our entire city. So yeah. Oh, and also we run out of grain. But that's fine. That's absolutely fine, because we kind of want to do some farming, and this is why I was interested in where another town centre goes. So let's see here. So if we go, oh, you can click on the school and there's a research button. I did not realise that. I just naturally clicked on the school looking for research. See, the old habits die hard. Press R. Okay, so we've got all this available. We have, let's stretch this out a bit more so you can see. We have farming, tailor, fluid pipes, forestry, intermediate logistics, boat building, and coin boosters. So the ones we really want are forestry and farming. They're the important ones right now. They're the ones that are going to get us going way better than they are. Forestry, I'm not too fussed about because we have plenty of trees here, and I do want to kind of clear them out of the way because they need to be cleared. So, but farming we want. So let's research farming. Clickety click. There we go. We've unlocked the farm. We've unlocked the farm tile, and we have animal pastures available. So for research. So okay. So we need to kind of get our research going as well, which is a bit awkward because we haven't really got the infrastructure to do planks and paper, and this one chute is not going to be enough to support everything that we're doing there. So it's okay. It's okay for the minute. It's okay for the minute. We'll get back to it. Farming is more important because this has run out and our happiness has dropped. But I want to know where we're going to put our second town, because we could do with another town. Because I don't know what this town centre is going to become, the speciality. What we're going to make it? Do we make this our farming town? Which does actually kind of make sense if you make it the farming town, because food is an early resource that you use a lot of, so it makes sense to go with farming first, and then sort of processing is the next town, industry. So yeah, so the first one's farming, the second will be processing, then we'll go with industry, then we'll go with artistry, and then we'll go with magic, in that order. Because that's kind of the order you unlock stuff, although artistry is a bit weird because it's got food in between it and other bits and pieces, so we'll make this the farming place. So in that case, what we could do with is get into more space. So let's do that. Let's buy these 2 tiles behind us. Bop and bop. That takes us down to 800 coins. But we have some more space now, which is awesome, because that's what we want to do. We want to expand out and make things absolutely awesome. So we want to put some farms in here. And I know the extent of a town centre when upgraded all the way is 50 blocks. So I mean, we could do that now. We've got enough wood. Let's build that. So from here, we'll go out 50 blocks to there. And I know that's 50 blocks because it takes, you see down here, it takes one wood to make a footpath. So if we just drag a footpath out till it says times 50, we're done. There you go. So that's the maximum extent of the range in a circle, obviously. So if we draw a straight line out here, it won't work like that. It's in a circle. We have also discovered a earth temple, which is awesome. Is there anything over here? No. Okay. So we know we can put farms all the way up to this point here, and it would be fine. The issue to doing this the way that I'm doing it is that I know what's coming in the future, so I know the plan that I want to do, which is quite useful. But it's also bad because I know that we don't have conveyor belts yet. And later on we get omni pipes, which are way faster than conveyor belts, so we don't really want that. So moving goods around is a bit of a problem, but we can still do it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put some farms here, along here. Also, we can't make this a farming speciality yet because it requires a pasture. And we have done a lot of those, so we couldn't even put one in for no reason whatsoever. But let's put in some farms. Let's put in some farms. So, farm. This is a farm. This is how much space a farm uses. So I want to move it back off the path. In fact, what I want to do is we're going to remove some trees here. Zoom, like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to run some paths up like this. Actually, either side of the base, like that. Okay. And I'm doing that because if we put farms out here, then you haven't got to worry about the corners affecting things and hitting bits and pieces and doing stuff. So we can drag that out and that out. Not worry so much about it. There we go. And then we can move our houses later on. Houses can sit in the centre quite happily. So that works. And you can put like a tailor in the centre or any, not tailor, a food market or a tavern or anything like that, just to connect everything up. So, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that later. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's remove this one tree here and we'll put the farms on this side because it'll be easier. So If we put a farm here, anyway, we have a farm. Awesome, awesome, awesome. We need to get rid of that one piece of coal there. I don't really want to get rid of too much coal because coal is useful early on. But I'm going to get rid of that one piece because it's on the edge of the farm there. And the farm positioning, I'm being a bit over the top for it. If you're not aware, there is a thing in this game called Affinity. Particularly Affinity for plant life. So if I copy this berry here, because we can plant berries, we can plant grain. Grain's what we want to do. So let's go over to grain and copy the grain. It's easier to do. You can still go into the inventory here and go grain, plant grain, click. Yeah, there's grain. And you'll see there's these areas. See this area here? And this area here all lights up. That's Affinity for grain. That means if you plant grain here, you can see in the bottom left corner, bottom right corner even, it says that default, if I put it here, I will get 10 grain. When this grain grows, it will produce 10 grain. The farm can harvest 10 grain, then it has to wait for it to grow again. If you put it on an affinity square, it gets bonuses, like ×2 affinity, which means it gives you 20. If you put it on a farm tile, then you get more bonuses from them. If you put it on a water, if you feed it with water, feed it with fertilizer, you get more bonuses. So you end up, rather than having to wait so long for the crops to grow, they still take a certain amount of time to grow, but they have more when they grow, so you can harvest more from them. So if you put down 2 and they both have just 10 in them, you harvest 10 from the first one, you got to wait for the first one to grow by the time you harvest 10 from the second one, and you might harvest those 10 before the first one's grown. Whereas if you did 20, you've got double the amount of time to wait for one to grow. I hope I'm explaining that correctly. It's a bit weird. But that's what we want to do. We want to put it down. And the reason I want to get my farms in the correct places early on is because affinity takes a long time to grow. You get like 1 point of affinity every time a crop grows. So you want to get your crops and your farms in places early to help sort of combat the growing speed of it. The best way I suppose I can put it. So if I use the page up and page down buttons, I can increase the area that I'm going to plant the crops in. And I'm going to pause the game, and then we're just going to click here, here, and I think that's going to do for now because I've just looked at my coins and we don't have many coins left. So we'll leave it like that for the minute. That's annoying. I'd like to plant all the cranes in one go, so that all the crops in one go, so they get the same affinity bonus as they go. But it's fun. And this guy, he's going to select recipe, and if you click auto manage recipes, it will automatically detect what it's got there. If it's got multiple crops, which you can do, you can plant multiple crops on one file. It will then go, hey, I've ticked the multiple crops because I know I need them. Supply water and supply fertilizer aren't required. They are just like a bonus. They give you the bonus to the affinity. So if you were to feed this farm any water, it would go and water crops. Now, I don't think that's going to work because you can only water farm tiles. Even though it says their water is a separate thing. So maybe you can, I'm not sure. I have to test that. I can test that quite easy, actually. Let's test it. Let's test it right now. Give me a worker and go, hey, would you take water to the farm? And we'll see what happens. I haven't actually looked at this. I don't know if it's changed. Before it used to be the farm tile itself gained the water. You supplied water to somebody. Now we have an issue here. This has an affinity for coal in this corner here, because we planted it on coal. So what's going to happen is when these crops grow, it will gain affinity. So it will gain like 1 point of affinity, which means it will become 0.1. So next time it grows, it will get a small bonus to its yield. If you plant a crop on an affinity that is for a different item, or plant anything on an affinity for a different item, it will have to remove that affinity first before it can start growing its own one. So right now, we go over here, it has it's got 100% affinity for coal. So every time this grows, I think it knocks 5% off the affinity. So it will drop coal down to 95%. And after growing 20 times, it will have knocked that affinity down to 0, and then it can start building its own affinity. It's basically converting the land to be more effective for for the crop. So unfortunately, I don't know where this is planting the water. I mean, it could be anywhere, and I'd have to mouse over each and every one of these to find out where it's actually put the water. Because it doesn't tell me. It is definitely supplying water, but it doesn't tell me where it's supplying it to. Which is a little annoying. See here that bump. If we put, oh no, actually, it's not supplying water. It's not. It's filled the bar up, then it stopped. Sorry, I was misreading that. So ignore that. What I've said. This is not supplying water to the crops. It only supplies water to farm tiles, which makes sense. Water and fertilizer go on farm tiles. Farm tiles increase the effectiveness of the crop growing. Farm tiles are something we have, but we can't put down because you need fertilizer. And fertilizer is made by the pasture, which we haven't researched, so we need to get some research going for that. Okay, but that's going to grow, and it's going to start harvesting, and everything will be awesome. So we need to move some things around, because our farm's going to grow grain, but it's not going to be able to put it anywhere. We'd have to grab some people and tell them to come along and do other bits and pieces. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, hey, you three, thank you for your service, but we don't need you anymore. We're going to move this here, and we're going to say, hey, grain mill, would you come up to here, please? Boom. And food, would you come to here? So there we go. So we know that the grain mill can output its goods via a chute. So we'll put that there. So the flour will come, the grain will come from the farm into the grain mill. The grain mill will produce flour. The flour will go to here. The food market is connected via road to all the houses. So it will sell all the crops to all the houses, which is awesome. We can change this up as well, which I'm going to do. We could also, now we put this food market here, we can actually get rid of this one. And we could say, hey, you three, would you take it to there? Because that's, you know, just as easy. Let's move our houses back up onto the road. Here. Then we'll run tiles down like that. Because we can now extend. We can actually have more houses. Oop. Oh, there we go. So let's put a house there, a house there, and a house there, and a house there. There's our 12 houses. You are connected. You see if I mouse over that, it highlights the barn. If I click it, it shows where everything's going to. So these houses will upgrade once they get their planks, which is awesome, and they can be sold food, which will increase our happiness, which is awesome. But we need happiness. So we need flour. So to get flour, we want to have a chute basically come out of this farm and go into the grain mill. But we can't do that on the ground because we have a road here, and we want the road to remain here because we need the connection to the building, the connection to the town centre. So the easiest way to do it is to put the chute in the air, and you can do that using wooden pillars and wooden ramps and other bits and pieces, which are really nice. So we'll put in some wooden pillars. We'll put in some scaffolding like so, and then we will just get a chute, and we will drag the chute from here to there. Now, bear in mind, you see, there's all the affinity bonus. But so if I pause the game now, see, they've got 2% affinity, which means the next yield will be 11 because it's got 1, got times 1, which is interesting. Got 2%. However, over here, see, it's got coal and 99%. So it drops it by. So it raises it by 2%, but drops it by 1%. So that means we need to harvest this grain here 100 times before its affinity goes. Wow, that's a lot. Not too worried about it because it'll be fine. It'll be fine. You normally have enough grain to get things going. So I think we will leave this one here, and we'll come back next time and carry on from there. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this one, and I hope to see you again in the next one. And until then, as always, have fun.